folks, welcome to LexCIS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by faculty Sushma K. So what is the topic that we will be looking into? Is China secretly helping Iran in the battle against Israel? Why are we telling this? What changes have taken place for us to tell this? First thing. Second thing, why would China help Iran? Understanding? The third thing, why is it relevant to your UPSC or how is it relevant to your UPSC? That is your GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 from your IR and energy security issues. Understanding? Now let's decode this together. See, as usual, I'll tell it to you like a story. You listen to it like a story. Recently, your China has held that it is very much troubled by the fact of the disturbances brewing in the West Asian region. So this West Asian region is very important, and also right now it is laced with conflict. See, with respect to your Israel-Hamas war, understanding, then Houthis attacking your USA, then now your Iran trying, it was not Iran's move, more of your Israel's move on Iran. Why it started? That is because of your UN watchdog IAEA had held that Iran is restricting its IAEA inspectors to have a close look at its nuclear facilities. One reason why this concept of nuclear facilities now they are not allowing your inspectors to come in and etc. is 2015 US President, former US President Barack Obama had brokered a deal wherein Iran, if it follows certain conditions, okay, part of sanctions which is levied on for uranium enrichment will be taken off, which would give a huge impetus to your Iran's economy. That was, and like it was mentioned, it did give a good impetus to your Iran's economy. But 2018, with the entry of US President Donald Trump, he backed away from that deal. He wanted to reimpose the sanctions. Under your Sanctions Act of your USA, we cannot, that is, any countries cannot have trade deal with Iran unless and until there is a waiver offered by your USA. So all this was going, Iran kept telling, do not back out on the deal. If you back out on the deal, that means we will also go for uranium enrichment. Now, the reports from your IAEA has held that Iran was not cooperating or Iran was not showing everything to the inspectors of IAEA, which is again a watchdog of United Nations for your nuclear activity. Israel, based on this, started attacking Iran. Now, if you see the intelligence sources of your USA, they have still held that no, Iran has not gone to an extent which has crossed its 2003 threshold. Now, based on this IAEA reports and your Israel attacking Iran, Israel now wants USA also to attack Iran. The reason is pretty simple. Iran has, for example, your Fordo facility in Iran is the key essential chip for the nuclear plant, nuclear enrichment, or the concept of nuclear itself. The key chip is held by your Fordo, and it is an entirely underground setup. One thing with respect to the underground setup, what we can tell is it is so deep that at least it is mentioned that it is 295 to 300 feet below the ground. With the present capacity that Israel has, it cannot go and hit up onto your 200 or 300 feet facilities. It's attacking all other things. For example, it had recently attacked Nantas. See, your Israel is trying to attack Iran under your Operation Rising Line. So what happens in this case is the only person who can hit the facility of Iran, which is almost 300 feet underground, is your USA. Understanding? So your Israel is wanting USA's active involvement in this. We have laid out the lines. Yes. Now the topic of question is, why is China playing a part here? See, first and foremost, one day after Israel hit Iran, that is on your June 13th, which turned out to be Friday 13th for Iran. When Israel hit Iran, just one day after that, China sent, there was a aircraft, okay? It was scheduled for your Iran. If you see, the final destination was your London, but it never reached London. 3 consecutive days, same flight, same route. Again, when it went to Iran, the radar was off. Now the question started coming in was, is China secretly trying to give aid to Iran to fight Israel? If so, just 3 aircraft came, are we thinking that? Or if not, what else is the bigger picture than that? And why would China do this? Okay. And look at this Operation Rising Line. Israel hits the facilities of your Iran. Starts on June 13, 2025, just few days after your report of IAEA got published. Now, the weapons that Iran could deploy against Israel were they sent by your China in that mysterious 3 airlines, that is your aircraft. Now, 3 planes from China, all were Boeing 747s, departed for Iran in 3 consecutive days. That is one day after the, right next day after the Israel attack, that is on a Saturday. Then on a Sunday, also second one. Then on the third day was Monday. Again, all three where the final destination was showing it was London, but it never went there. And all three had the same trade route of where it went. Now the question is, yeah, so what? Boeing 747s, what is a big deal? Yes, just 3 aircrafts came. So what is the big deal in that? The reason is, usually, typically Boeing 747s are used to transport heavy duty military equipment. Now this raises eyebrows in the entire global politics, stating, see again, now if we can sum it up, can China do it? Yes, it can do it. Will it do it? We are yet to wait and watch. And will it do it? This now has brought in a suspicion among a lot of players telling that it has already did it. But there is no possible clear-cut confirmations. Like I said, the 3 flight, that is the planes, were headed on the same path. All 3 days pay also. That is northern China to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. Then the planes dropped off radar near Iran. They all showed that they had to go to Luxembourg as their final destination, but they never went to Europe at all. So this again raised suspicion. The question now is, why would China help Iran? See, first and foremost, it is pretty much an open book. First and foremost, Iran and China are strategic partners. Your China and Iran are aligned towards anti-West policy or against your pro-West policies. They also hate the fact that your West interferes in the internal politics, tries to change things and demolish and destroy a country and even destabilize the country. So they do not like the Western expansionism in the West Asia, the China. Another thing is, because of your constant sanctions by your West on Iran has crippled its economy, for which Iran's one of its largest potential is its oil. But because of the sanctions of USA, Iran is not able to sell its oil. So what it is trying to do, it is trying to sell it on the down low, which means off the radar. It tries to sell its oil for cheap to China. Now China has, again, yeah, it is not just that, yeah, they're giving me a discounted price, so I'm taking that. No, another thing for your China is they have something called as teapot refineries. These teapot refineries are having very less margins compared to your big, large scale industries with refineries. These ones are flourishing because of this. Understanding? So there's an industry, there is employment there which is relevant and dependent on this particular section in the China also. And also they're getting at almost discount each year pay, it has varied. For example, 2023 pay $11 discount per barrel. 2024 pay it was around $9, no, $4 per barrel pay discount. Presently it's at $2 per barrel pay they're giving at a discount. So they are trying to do it on the down or under the radar. For which again China, for what we know China is, it is trying to buy the oil and they are not paying in dollars but they are paying in yuans. So what happens when China is paying in yuan? Iran is able to buy Chinese products using those things. So which means again a boost, yes or no, with respect to your Chinese products. So they are interwoven. Understanding? See how your Iran is selling its oil to China under dark fleet of tankers where the transponders are turned off. And your China is buying them and using it for your teapot refineries. Okay, they are smaller in scale than your large state-owned refineries. Understanding? So they are also paying in yuan, which is again benefiting your China. Now, all this, yes, fine. If some trade will get disrupted, then it will affect Chinese economy because heavily China is dependent on Iran's oil. But when you see that Israel has not attacked any oil facilities, it has only attacked nuclear facilities, military bases. Yes, then why has China supposed to be worried? If at all, okay, let's assume a scenario. It doesn't take much time for Israel to target a oil facility also. If it, if at all your Israel attacks the Karg island, this, which is where Iran's crude oil is loaded onto tankers, which will be sent to China, then that will be completely cut off. China will be completely cut off from its severe crude oil imports. Now we can tell that are there no other options? Is China only dependent on Iran? The answer is no. Your Saudi Arabia and UAE could step in and almost 80% of the whatever dependency they have, they can bring it back. But instantly it would put China in a shock. Understanding? That is very difficult. And also, presently, if you see, there might be, again, with your Israel pointing out your Iran supreme leader should not be allowed to continue. So they might try to bring about a regime change and they try to topple the present government. So this would lead to what? The possibility of undermining Chinese economy and energy interests are there. So because of this, there is a possibility that China is trying to strengthen and secure its strategic partner from its own perspective. So according to his President Xi Jinping, he has held that China is deeply worried about conflict in the West Asia. And it is not like China has not or had not previously supplied weapons, arms, ammunitions to Iran. They have supplied thousands of your ballistic missile materials. They've even held that all parties should work to de escalate the conflict as soon as possible and prevent the situation from further worsening. This is your China stance, whereas your Donald Trump stance is you don't know what I'm going to do. Trump said I may not do it, I may do it. Nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this that Iran's got a lot of trouble and they want to renegotiate. So he has asked for a complete surrender of Iran, for which Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has held that let the Americans know that Iranian nation is not the one to surrender and any military intervention on their part will undoubtedly result in irreparable damage. Those who are wise and familiar with Iran, its people and its history never speak to this nation in the language of threats. This is from your Iran's perspective. If you see from your Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he has held that we are not going to wait for US green light. We are going to attack and target all the nuclear facilities. We will achieve all our objectives and hit all of the nuclear facilities. We have the capability to do that. So this is the perspective that is coming. So if we say, did China actually send arms which can be deployed against Israel, mostly not likely, but again, that not being true is also very slim chances. That is, possibilities they could have sent it, possibilities they might have not also sent it, but we have both options open here based on the past experiences. Okay, if you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.